In next week's Emmerdale episodes, a huge barn fire rages following a showdown between Ruby and a confused Maura. Meanwhile, Nate says goodbye to the village, and Will receives another threat from his blackmailer. Here are the 7 big moments to watch out for. Kane is completely thrown to hear about Maura's so-called kiss with Nate, but when Maura plays the moment down, Kane becomes even angrier. When Kane returns home, Maura realizes he's attacked Nate. She has a weird moment of déjà vu, and the distress leads her to slap Kane. After Caleb confronts Nate about what he saw, Tracy's completely crushed. Kane arrives, but instead of letting Nate explain, his dad punches him and he lands on the floor. Kane then brutally attacks Nate until a frightened Tracy stops him. Despite Nate's desperate pleas of innocence, Kane walks out and disowns his son. Ruby arrives while Maura's working in the barn. She's initially smug, but soon feels full of pity when Maura is unresponsive to her digs. Maura spills tractor oil in her distress, and from her perspective, Ruby's voice soon blurs with Emma Barton's. As Maura hallucinates, she raises a shotgun at Ruby and padlocks the barn, seeing an image of her old enemy. Maura fires a warning shot, terrorizing Ruby, but the bullet hits a light bulb and ignites a spark. As Ruby lurches for the gun, they tussle with one another, and Maura knocks Ruby out. Maura is confused. She stands and watches as a spark catches the tractor fuel and quickly catches fire. She stands helpless next to Ruby's lifeless body. Seeing smoke, Matt hurries to the barn after Maura fails to pick up her phone. At the barn, Mac and John head inside. Kane, Caleb and Chaz hear from Mac, and they race towards the blazing barn. Chaz tries to hold Kane back, but despite his and Maura's fractured marriage, Kane ashes inside. As the fire becomes an explosion, who will make it out safely? Upset at Kane's accusations, Tracy tells Nate she can no longer go to Shetland with him. Devastated at losing his entire family, Nate can't believe how things have turned out. Stony-faced Tracy gives Nate just 5 minutes to say goodbye to Frankie, and she disappears into another room. Will wrong Nate leave under a dark cloud? Waiting to hear from his tormentor, Will's determined to find out who he's dealing with. He waits in a lay-by with the ransom money, but Caleb soon interrupts him. When Caleb tells him about the raging fire, Will abandons his drop to help the Dingles. But later, a phone call from his blackmailer leaves him quaking with fear.